everyone.
Welcome back to Unscripted Untold podcast, where we break barriers and build bridges through conversations that matter. So we are officially kicking off season
Wow, can you believe that? We're on our season 2.
two. So I couldn't be more excited to dive in with you guys. And so if you've been rocking with us since season 1, thank you for being a part of the journey. We really appreciate that. And if you're new here, welcome. Okay. This is a space where we tell the truth, unpack stories, and most people will mostly avoid. And then we shine a little, not little, a light on what's often left in the shadows. Okay. So this season, we're going to start off pretty strong. And today we're going to dive into hidden chapters of Black history, the ones we weren't taught in school. We have the textbooks versions that gave us a handful of names, such as names of Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, but skipped over inventors, skipped over entrepreneurs, skipped over journalists, lawmen, and everyday visionaries who literally shaped our world that we live in today. Okay, so here's the thing. When names are left out of the history, it's not about the past. It shapes how we see ourselves right now. And it impacts our confidence, our identity, and even what we believe is possible. So today we're going to pull back the curtain, shining light on those untold stories, and then reminding ourselves and you the history is much bigger than what we were taught. So, hi, Harriet. How are you today?
Hi, Janine. Well, I'm great. I love that intro.
Yeah.
Very, very informative. I'm doing well. How are you?
I am excited about this season too. I can't believe it. Like, we just did a whole season 1 and then now we're in season 2. That's crazy.
Right, isn't it? Wow.
That's what consistency does. That's what work does. And
Mhm.
so I'm excited. I'm doing great. Had a bit of a week, but
Me too.
we're standing.
We're
Amen.
standing. Amen.
All
Amen.
right.
Amen.
All right, so let's jump in. So here's one question I have. And this is more like a personal reflection. So if you guys see me looking back and forth, it's because I did write down notes because I want to make sure that we stay on topic and that we identify what we need to identify in this episode. So let's start off with my beautiful co-host. One thing that you were or weren't taught about Black history in school.
Phew, just one thing. Um,
I wasn't ready.
yeah, just one thing. Let's see.
Right. It's multiple things, but
I know. I'm trying to reflect. I don't know. I wasn't taught about, like you said earlier, about a lot of the entrepreneurs,
yeah,
the innovators,
yeah.
that helped shape America.
Mm.
Um, there's a lot of backstories and a lot of things that we use today because of some of our Black ancestors that created it and wasn't really given their due recognition, and certainly not in our textbooks. Certainly not in my generation. It wasn't in any textbooks. So,
Yeah.
yeah. How?
Same for me. Like, I feel like I mean, of course we knew about Garrett Morgan and with the lights and the stoplights and stuff.
Hmm.
You know, a few other people, but uh, I feel like the same way, like what I learned more as I got older than I did in school.
Yeah.
All the way up until like we would have a Black History report and stuff like that. But I really don't feel like we captured everything in 1 month.
No. Oh no. No.
And then that's a whole new subject. we don't want to go down that bridge, but I'm
Right.
saying I feel like that was not enough to cram in, and then it seemed like the curriculum was only based on certain ones. I'm not
Mhm.
downing the ones that we learned about.
Right.
What I'm saying is that we kept learning the same and regurgitating the same ones.
Yep.
I wanted to learn somebody new,
Right.
a name that I've
Right.
never heard before.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Same here.
yeah, I like to. So when I got older, I was like, I did not know
Mhm.
that. So yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Mm.
So, I mean, I'm gonna throw it back at you. Who is it that you um what innovator or entrepreneur resonated with you learning today that you didn't learn when
Hmm.
we were when you were in school?
I actually was looking at something, and I think what is her name? Oprah. She wrote a book about Henrietta.
Lax.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading that, and I honestly never read it before until I started looking at a couple of things throughout the week.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, they stole I was like, what kind of foolishness? That's crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, I just matter of fact, I mean, I love documentaries and things, and I look up a lot of YouTube documentaries and it was talking about, her story and everything. And it's incredible at what they did.
Even with Tulsa.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
That
there's so
wasn't the
many
only
right.
one though.
That's what I'll get ready to say. Tulsa, we always, have heard about Tulsa, but there's so many other black communities that were destroyed. Yeah,
I
and I
know
started, learning more about that too as well.
I even and this is like a little bit off of the subject, but I used to live in Columbus, Georgia, right? And
Mhm.
so the county was called Muskogee.
Mhm.
And I was kind of like, what kind of name is well, how'd they come up with that name? And it was from the Indians.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
on top of that, I learned that they were taken out because of what? What could we guess why they were taken out of their land?
Well, it's the same old
Oh,
adage. If you keep going back in that same pattern,
yeah.
a lot of it. Are you talking about us as black, our communities being destroyed, or
Well, it's I think it's one and the same because theirs were because they were indigenous people. They were
right,
people of color, and
right,
so their land was taken too, just as much as ours was. But I know
yeah,
this is about Black history, but I just when I saw that, I was just like, well, why would they do that?
well, greed, wanting that
That part,
control, yeah.
yeah,
Even though you're here first, we're here now. We're superior than you. We're gonna take it.
that part,
And and as far as like Tulsa and Ocoee massacre,
yeah,
Rosewood, um,
yeah.
there's a underlying common theme, and they seem well. Like I said, we can go on and on. I don't know how far in this particular episode
Yeah.
that you want to. There's a common theme underlining in that, of what happened in those incidents. So, but
So I guess my next question is like, why are so many names missing? Because doesn't that impact our identity as
it
a
does.
culture? Okay.
It does, which is why the names are missing, because it is, it will give us some identity. And yes, it just proves that we have a lot of, we did a lot for this country. I mean, we were dragged here and we pretty much built this country on our backs, on our ancestors' backs, and did a lot of things,
Yeah.
but we don't get the credit for it. We don't get the recognition for it.
And you said something key right there. And I think that was one of my notes here, because when as our generations grew up, we're thinking that people didn't contribute outside of oppression,
Mm-hmm.
um, sports, entertainment, whatever we have now. We don't have that, so we have a limited imagination,
Mm-hmm.
confidence, and possibility to what we can actually walk into. Um, that's just unfortunately the reality, because of those things being taken out of our history.
Right.
And you see some of some of these things being taken out, not some of the things, these things being taken out, because and then when we are trying to reinitiate those things back into our history, there's a fight. uh,
Yeah. Which is why we need to tell our own stories. Um,
that part, yeah.
my After seeing what's all going on, and just reflecting back at our history, I mean, it's very important that we tell our own stories. We
True,
have to.
true,
Um,
yeah.
Nobody can tell it then better than the ancestors. Some of these descendants are still, maybe still here, or
Mm,
were here. And it's just important to just tell our own stories. Somebody told me a long time ago, and I kind of see um, their point. It said the best way to learn about American history is if another country or somebody outside of US tells it,
yeah.
because they see it. I mean, a lot of, like, now a lot of these countries now, they're looking at us as, how dare you, try to be, tell us what, when you did this and this, and look at your history, you know.
I mean, the sin on this country. You are
Hmm.
so right. Yeah, the sin on this country.
But
It's sad. So we have a couple of unsung architect architect. I can't even say it because I have this thing in my mouth. Architect. I can't even
architects,
say.
unsung architects.
Of progress. Yes, I have this thing in my mouth that I'm trying to get adjusted to. So excuse me. So one of them is Madam C.J. Walker. Of course, we've heard that name
Hmm.
multiple times.
Hmm.
She's not just a hair lady. Okay,
No.
no. She built a successful female-owned business empire in America.
She
Mhm.
did.
How she do that?
Well, let me tell you this. We all know the name of Madam C.J. Walker, but do you also know there was someone before her?
Mm,
Annie Turnbull Malone. Actually, from what I read, that Madam C.J. Walker was a kind of a student under,
uh-huh.
and somehow, they kind of broke ways, and so that Annie. I think Annie, Miss Malone, she was like the forgotten, the unsung, because I think she was the first. And
Mm,
then, but Madam C.J. Walker took what Annie Malone did and just kind of expounded and went beyond.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just want to make sure everybody gives shout
Oh,
outs
yeah.
to Annie Malone as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, um,
Hmm.
Madam C.J. Walker, she went. I mean, she was Oprah before Oprah, way before yeah.
We're gonna leave that alone. All
Yeah,
right.
I'll leave that alone. But no, she wasn't Oprah. But as far as her wealth and how she, what
Yeah.
people say, oh, Oprah was the first billionaire and all that. No. Uh-uh.
No. Because in fact, I have here that she employed thousands of women and
Hmm.
gave back through philanthropy.
Yep. Philanthropy. Philanthropy. Now you make me talk. Philanthropy. Philanthropy.
Look,
Yeah.
I was just leave some words alone, y'all. Yes, but
Yeah.
she would be considered a top entrepreneur, but
Mhm.
we, as you said, we cannot forget, we have those who are above us that can walk us into a direction of success, and we don't want to forget Miss Malone
Mhm.
as to what she contribute to Madam C.J. Walker, because
Mhm.
if it wasn't for her, um, where would she be, right?
Mhm.
Amen. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so then we have Bass Reeves. Now,
I love this one. I love this one. Yes.
okay, so I'm gonna let you have this one. Tell us.
I was really impressed and really did that's one of the things I did not know about.
Mhm.
I love history. I love American history. I love Black history. And so I just and I love the old West. I love learning about the true old West, not what we see on TV and all that. But I like
Yeah,
but well this man was I mean, he was Marshall Dillon personified. And he was Black. He was Black. He was they say that the old television show, The Lone Ranger, was really pretty much loosely based on Bass
yeah,
Reeves,
yep, yep.
even though I never even knew who Bass Reeves was. Definitely not coming up as a kid. Never heard of him until
Neither.
I start learning more about history or Black history.
Mhm. So, and it says, and you mentioned that because it was loosely based on his life was loosely based on most of the things that you see now, like a cowboy movie or so forth. But it is what it is. These are my notes as well.
Hmm.
Hollywood erased him because of centering a black cowboy didn't fit the Western fantasy.
Mm-mm. Oh no, no,
Like, what was?
um,
Ah,
this man literally, he never lost a prisoner. I mean, he was pretty much so with the help of a Indian friend, which is like the Lone Ranger, and
mhm,
Tonto or whatever. But the things that he would do to get his men,
mhm.
it was just and never was shot. I mean, never. I mean, he was so bad. I mean, bad as by bad, to where he even turned to his own son, because his son reportedly had killed his wife because I guess he caught her cheating with another man,
Mm.
and so um, he had to go hunt his own son and bring his own son,
Yeah.
back to So it's like, how can you not? I mean, not recognize this man,
Yeah, because it says that he captured over 3,000 fugitives.
right?
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Now I don't know that I didn't look up like the time frame in terms of like where that number, the 3,000 that he captured. So I
Hmm.
don't know the time frame if it was in a span of 2 years, a year, 6 months. I don't know.
It
Uh,
might be throughout his whole career, the
yeah,
total of his law enforcement career, but
yeah, he was a bad man.
he was a bad man.
Oh
Yeah.
man. All right. So Dr. Charles Drew. Okay. So he is someone that I had never heard of as well.
Oh,
Not in
okay.
at least in high school and
Yeah,
coming up in school.
right.
But he developed methods for storing blood plasma and saved millions of lives.
Mhm.
His work was actually critical in World War II and beyond.
Wow. And once again, who was the one? I don't know why I thought he did the first successful open heart surgery.
Let's say that he is.
I don't know. Maybe I got him
Oh,
mixed up with someone. Yeah.
yeah, but I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, I don't remember the name either, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Oh,
guys know, just put it in the comments if you guys know
yeah.
who
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Because it wasn't the one that you're talking about. It was in Tulsa, right? It was
He
that
might
the
have
one you're
been
talking about? Okay.
the open heart, the one yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because he had his
Yeah.
own hospital and everything.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. But I think his name might have been Charles, but I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay. If you guys know, please reply in the comments.
Yeah. All right. Um, so here's the thing. If our children knew about Dr. Charles Drew, and they learned about him in science class, we'd have more Black students seeing themselves as scientists
Yeah.
and innovators instead of only athletes and entertainers.
Right.
I
Right.
know my oldest, he loves science. He loves it. And
Did he know was he taught in school about he said, are you kidding?
they regurgitate the same thing. So I
Yeah.
know because like I didn't know.
Yeah.
Anything that I learned or my husband learned, we would of course teach our children. But
Mhm.
yeah, I didn't know anything about him until I started really learning more about our history.
Mhm.
Yeah. And like
You're right.
I personally do not like science.
Yeah.
Something like that, that may have intrigued me a little bit more to be like,
Right.
"Oh, wow, okay."
Right. Right. I mean, seeing people that look like you or seeing innovators that look like you, I mean, especially, for our kids, that might have, been the inspiration
Mm,
for our kids to, go further into the scientific. A lot of our kids, and there are some that were, are very, very like your son, he has to be very intelligent, to, you know, to be in fields like science,
yeah.
things like that.
He, like, loves to go out to, um, look at the stars. He
Mm,
loves stuff like that, like, and he's so fascinated with it. He takes pictures. He be like, "What
wow.
years is this one?" And I'll be like, it's like seeing, I mean, he's 22, but it's like
Hmm.
seeing a little kid get enthusiastic
Yeah.
about stuff like that. It still moves him, and he's still engaged in it.
Hmm.
I love that for him, so
Hmm. Absolutely. Wow.
okay. So that just ushers us right into visionaries and innovators, right?
Hmm.
So our next name is Allison Dugan. Okay.
Let's see. I'm not familiar with her. You got to tell
Me
me about
neither.
her.
Yeah, it was some names I was like, I
Hmm.
and this is why we're bringing it up because
Hmm.
we it is the month of September. It's not February, so we're going to bring it up.
Hmm.
So actually, she was the first Black woman to get White House press credentials.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we need some more of them over there. Anyway,
Yeah.
she walked into spaces alone, faced daily racism and sexism. Hello, I can
What
see.
years was this? I mean, do you know?
Let me look that up to be for sure and certain. Allison, here it is. So it appears that okay, so I'm looking this up in the NewYorkHistory.org. So we have a um this is by the late 40s.
Oh, okay.
Um so it says here in 1946 she was hired on a trial basis for a position termed chief of its Washington bureau by Claude Barnett, founder and director of the Associated Negro Press, the ANP. Um, and it's saying that I'm just skipping through here.
Hmm.
The barriers to women trying to enter the field of journalism were so widespread. Um, she did, it looks like it was an article on the problem in August 1949. Mademoiselle magazine is where
Mm,
that was printed.
okay.
Yeah. So I would have to keep reading on, but um I believe just looking at just looking at her life,
Mhm.
she had the courage to stand in diverse in a situation where she was dealing with racism and sexism.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That had to be difficult.
It had to
I've had to
be.
deal with that actually cou- when I was in Florida. Um, Maybe not the sexism, but definitely
Mhm.
the racism.
Racism.
Yeah. So it does take a lot of courage
Mhm.
stand in that type of position, especially being in a White House press.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
So I commend her for her courage,
Absolutely. I'm gonna
her
have to
service
do
for that.
yeah, do some more digging on about
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
I've never even heard of her. Never heard
Mm.
of her. Wow.
So and that's the thing. How many? That's a question that we can obviously pose to ourselves. How many of us would have the guts to walk into rooms where we know we're not wanted?
Mhm. How many of us have done that? Had to do that? Yeah.
Will. I
Yeah.
ain't scared.
I ain't never scared. Yeah. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, but being able to be professional, but have that courage to say, you know what? I mean, I'm gonna just bring up a quick story. I am a person who actually got her master's degree, right? And I had gotten a position at a I'm not gonna say because then I'll tell it all, but I had gotten a position and a lot of them were like, well, what is, I'm young, I'm still in my 30s. And
Mhm.
they're looking at me like, what is she doing in this position? And
Mhm.
that gave me a
Mhm.
really hard time.
Mm.
I've had people get in my face.
What?
Mhm. Yes, ma'am. Mhm. I've had them get in my face. Um, and you still walk and be, and I can't, and I still continue to show up
Mhm.
every day. If I wasn't sick, I showed up every day
Mhm.
until that assignment was up when God caught me out of it. But I learned a lot being able to stand my ground. I worked hard to get my master's degree. I
Mhm.
worked hard to be in the position that I was in. So
Mhm.
I'm not going to let somebody else opinion or their actions to stop me from what I was doing
Right.
because
Right.
that was a role that I was really wanting and
Mhm.
obviously got.
Right.
And so I was going to do the best that I possibly could. And I actually did that. And it wasn't recognized until after I was like, okay, I'm putting in my 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then that's when it was like, oh, you this. But
Mhm.
during that
Mhm.
time frame, I dealt with a lot of different I guess the mentality of you see a young black female,
Mhm.
are you gonna get the attitude? Are you gonna
Mm,
get
right.
the response that you're looking for? And
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna be professional. I've
Right.
worked hard to be here. And so
Right.
I kind of connected with this a little bit because of the fact that she had the courage to keep going
Mhm.
despite what she
In
dealt
spite
with.
of.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah. We deal with a lot. All right, so the next two names I believe are, we've of course heard them, but Garrett Morgan. We spoke about that earlier when we first started this, and so of course he invented the three position traffic signal and a gas mask. Um, so we basically see his inventions each and every day.
Mhm.
Yeah, we see him every
I
day.
was looking at there was one I think there was a blurb about the traffic light, and but I was looking at some of those old black and white films where just cars was just, beep, I mean, it was so chaotic to where then when that traffic light was, put in place, then how things were more, structured and more,
Right.
uniform. But I mean, it's like cars were just going everywhere. People were just, in and out. Much like how people are, on traffic now. A lot of them are just driving crazy. But it was, I say, if it wasn't for Mr. Morgan in that traffic, people would have been, because this had no structure. I mean, everybody was just going wherever they can. They bump everybody, just to get to point A to point B. But
Exactly. Atlanta, Georgia. Ah, they don't care about them lights.
they don't
They
care.
drive. He looking
Wow.
like, y'all don't see.
Or
I'm
going from one
like,
end, wanted to get off the exit off the right, but all the way to the left. But they're just going to come all over. They don't care, They just going to swoop on over to the right and get off that exit.
Lord, we thank Mr. Morgan for it,
Yeah.
but whew, when I get out of traffic, I got to pray, child. I got to
Oh,
pray.
wow.
um, let's see. Now, this Henrietta Lacks. Um, like I said at the beginning, I was a little taken aback by what they did.
Hmm.
Excuse me. And of course, it should spark conversation about medical ethics.
Hmm.
Um, how do you take someone's cells without their consent and use them for medical research? I wonder, and I don't know if I really, I want to go more in depth with learning more about that, but my thing was this. I was like, how could it just boggles my mind the way some people think that this is okay.
Yeah.
Being a person who is in the medical field, I can't just go out and get people's information without their consent. And there's certain things that I cannot have access to.
Hmm.
But to take somebody's cells and use it is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Her story is, incredible. I mean, just
Hmm.
hence why a lot of us in our culture are very leery, and very hesitant of anything
Hmm.
when to do with the doctor and our treatment, um
Giving blood, all
giving
of it. Yeah, I don't blame us.
certain vaccines and things of that nature.
Mm.
We just don't trust we don't trust. I
That's
mean, that goes with, between that with Henrietta Lacks and the Tuskegee experiment and all of that. You wonder why Black folks don't want to really.
I will say I don't want to get us banned off of YouTube, but the
Yeah, the
um
mm-hmm.
I didn't trust that from the jump.
Mm-mm.
I didn't trust that at all. And you look at some of the stories had been possibly removed off of social media, off of
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, but there are stories out there of the effects of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
some people dealt with issues with their ligaments and
Mm-hmm.
or their internal being because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I dealt with dark spots all over my body
Mm. Mm.
because I was felt forced to take it.
Mm. And see that's a another that's an ethic and moral issue.
Yeah, we
Um,
shouldn't be forced to do anything.
you shouldn't, yeah. Uh-uh. But yeah, so Henrietta Lack's story is always it'll go down in history as one of the most egregious,
Yeah.
act in the medical.
Yeah. Hmm. All right. Yeah, because I don't want to get angry, so we're gonna keep it moving. Okay, so define the odds, resilience, and revolution. Excuse me. Mary Church Terrell. She fought for racial and gender equality for 60 years.
Wow.
Her longevity shows us that change isn't instant. Yeah.
Hmm.
What it really isn't. When you look back at some things, some things that we're dealing with in the world now, it's not something that is a instant thing. So
Right.
what lessons can we take today about staying consistent in a fight, even when it feels slow?
I don't know. I
Keep going.
yeah,
That's
keep
it.
going. I don't know.
You literally have to keep going and keep pushing forward towards the truth will prevail, I feel like.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like the truth will prevail, and you just keep being consistent about bringing forth that truth and not
Mhm.
being lackadaisic about it, but just, standing in your truth,
Mhm.
whatever that may be, and
Right.
wanting to see that change. Even if it just affects one person, it affected someone.
Right.
Um,
Right.
we think it has to be a brash of numbers. More so, it could be just one or two people
Mhm.
they have changed or impacted. So that's how I would answer that question.
It's true.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. Bayard Rustin.
I just saw his name recently, and I wanted to another documentary popped up, and I wanted to when you put that in the notes, I said, oh, okay, so I'm gonna need to do some more digging because I never heard of him either.
Right. What it tell us what you saw when you saw his name.
Well, the same thing about what I see here in the notes is about he was really an organizer for the March on Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's the headline that I saw, but I didn't, get a chance to go deep to what the backstory about him.
Yeah, he has a impressive uh, impressive outline about himself.
Okay.
Um, so it appears that he was also business partners with Martin Luther King Jr. Of course, as we stated, he was a politician,
Mm-hmm.
civil rights activist. So he has a few organizations that he founded, which is, I don't know if people may know this, but called Southern Christian Leadership Conference,
Okay. Yeah.
March on Washington Movement,
Mm-hmm.
and then a Congress of Racial Equality.
Mm.
Now, I did see that it talked about his sexuality.
Mm.
He was sidelined because of him being openly gay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'm going to leave that. That's just pretty
Mm-hmm.
self-explanatory. Um,
Mm-hmm.
of course, that can be a little discriminatory and
Mm-hmm.
so forth. So because of that, sometimes movements erase people who don't fit.
Right.
as an
Yeah.
acceptable narrative
Right.
that can take place. So I guess the question would be, what would it look like if we embraced all contributions without filtering who gets the credit? That that question is just pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
We shouldn't filter. I think we
Yeah.
should. I mean, everybody has an opinion.
Mhm.
We can agree to disagree.
Mhm.
We saw that, unfortunately, over the course of the last week and a half,
Mhm.
because of someone's opinion.
Mhm.
Um, it didn't fit. It wasn't,
Right. It didn't
for
fit
some
the
people, it
yeah.
wasn't acceptable.
Yeah.
There was a label placed, a few
Mhm.
labels placed,
Mhm.
um, with not critical, I don't think, critical backing.
Mhm.
Like I said, we can agree to disagree
Right.
without it causing a
An
offense
infringement
of,
on the right to freedom of speech, I guess, or freedom of expression.
yeah, yeah. This is and it's sad because this was back in, the it looks like, I'm trying to get the dates here. Okay, so around 1963,
Okay.
and we're still seeing it in 2025.
Mhm. Mhm.
Let that sit. 1963 to 2025. Yeah. Let's move forward. Claudette Colvin. I did hear this name.
Mhm. Yeah, later on in
Yeah.
years. Yeah.
um. So actually, she was 15 years old, and
Mhm.
she actually refused to give up her bus seat before Rosa Parks.
Yep. But why wouldn't she recognize? What do you think?
Mm. Was it because maybe her age? Maybe, I don't know.
Could be.
Well, history chose Rosa because she was older, respectable,
Mhm.
and fit the movement strategy.
Mhm.
Not to, I'm not, please hear me, I'm not degrading what Rosa Parks did.
Right.
No,
Right.
I'm not doing that.
Right.
But how does that shape the way we remember history and erase the young voices? We still have young people can make an impact too. It doesn't have
Absolutely.
nothing to do
Yeah.
with age.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Her bravery as well, although not recognized, that took a lot of courage as well.
It did for a 14-year-old, girl to, just, go against the status quo. You know how dangerous that was for her?
Back then, I was just telling my son about Emmett Till because he was 14 when they killed
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, and I was explaining to my son, I said, they lived in New York. They lived up north. I think it was New York. They lived
Chicago.
in Chicago, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
And they lived up north, and you come back down to the south and you see that doesn't mesh.
Mm-mm.
It don't mesh. And so that's what, but as more things come out about that, Yeah. And it's just like when I actually sat and watched that movie again. Well, not again. They made a movie called Teal.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah,
was 2023 when it came out. I
yeah.
don't
I
know.
didn't get to see it. Was it accurate or how was it? I didn't. I mean, I don't. I was kind of debating whether I wanted to see it or not. You know, because I don't. My emotions. But
I want to say that it was loosely based off the truth.
okay.
I kind of feel like we still aren't getting the full truth
Mm-hmm.
as to what happened
Mm-hmm.
outside of he really they now they were saying, I guess, that he really didn't whistle at her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And in the movie they showed that he did. And he took out like a picture of I guess a Hollywood star. He was like, "You look just like this woman." And he was like complimenting her, and so she was looking at him like, "You not supposed to be saying all of this to me."
And see, I haven't heard that part. I never heard that.
That's why I said it was
Yeah.
loosely because I
Yeah.
don't feel
I
like,
never heard of him saying something like that. Yeah. Okay.
but we get the gist of
Mm-hmm.
the scenario. So
Mm-hmm.
okay,
But yeah, Claudette Colvin, yeah, she's to be definitely recognized as the as her part of she's the start of Miss Rosa Parks was the catalyst that actually for them to actually prompt the Montgomery bus boycott. But Claudette Colvin was the one who was the put that idea that started
yeah,
that and I read this book, and it's a very good book. I think it's called At the End of the Street, Dark Side of the Street or something. I forgot. I got the book, got it the audio version,
okay,
and it gives the all the predated civil rights movement of all the of women
hmm,
who contribute to um, attempted to uh, challenge the status quo even back in the 40s. But they mentioned her, and then they mentioned Claudette Colvin, and then they mentioned went in depth about the backstory of why they didn't use her, and as went
hmm,
to Rosa Parks. Um, and like you said, because she was older, I mean, she was she was considered morally acceptable because I think that at the time they found out that Claudette Colvin was pregnant, and they didn't want to use her as a because then that'll
example.
open up the door. Because they threw immoral, that black women are loose, black women are this and
I get
that,
it.
and so
Mm,
that was the what they said that why they couldn't use her case. But and also some may even go to the point of colorism. Some may even go stretch to that point of, she was this Miss Rosa, was, established. She was a light skinned,
yeah,
um, you know, uh,
she's beautiful.
married, um, morally, pleasing to, the status quo, what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but
Hmm. Uh, what we're learning today. I hope you
yeah,
guys are enjoying this because I think it's just to bring it up. Talk about things that could be even hard to talk about.
yeah.
some things are a little bit hard to talk about in terms of our history because it's like you feel their pain, you feel what
Mhm.
they're through. But I think what gets me um, eh, moving in the right direction is their courage, their endless servitude, and it was like I'm gonna keep moving forward
Mhm.
despite what I'm up against, and I think that's the mindset we all need to have,
Right. Right.
no matter what color. But we're,
Right.
we're really acknowledging these people, all of their contributions to
Mhm.
our history, to our culture. Their it takes a lot to do that.
It does. It takes. I mean, when you see things that um, our people went through, from slavery to the Reconstruction to the Jim Crow era, to the civil rights,
Yeah,
to the 70s to now. I mean,
yeah.
it's a lot. It's a lot. So we encourage, we're not, saying these, we're want to just recognize this is our history, the
Hmm.
good, the bad, and the ugly.
Hmm.
And we have to have a conversation about it. We can agree some things that people can agree to disagree, but at least we need to acknowledge what these people that we've mentioned, they did make a contribution, whether it was voluntarily or involuntarily.
Right, right.
um, there was a contribution to, to us of where we are today. So we just wanted to take the time out to, recognize them, and know that, we, the generations after, we as our later generations, we do honor them and give them respect.
And I love that comment, and I think let's tie that into if we knew these names, we would dream bigger. As
Hmm.
and even as adults,
Right.
we would see our as adults, we would see our worth differently.
Hmm.
Businesses would build with more courage because they know that they stand on legacies of invention,
Right.
innovation. Excuse me. That's one thing. That's key right there.
Hmm.
That's so key. Not going to chase a bag, but going to
Right.
actually make an impact,
Right.
only for um, you as the individual, but those who are coming behind you,
Yeah.
generations to come, and then being able to serve the people that you need to serve, to solve
Hmm.
their problems and be innovative doing
Right.
that. In business, it's just like history. Visibility matters. We
Hmm.
putting it out there. We need to, your idea is not, you have to put the idea out there.
Hmm.
Somebody will see that and say, hey, I need that.
Right. Right.
Nothing is nothing is not off the table at this point.
Hmm.
Okay. If you're hidden, then your contributions can be erased. That
Right.
there, listen, like I said, I have stuff all over my computer that says stay consistent, lock in,
Mm.
do this, do that.
Hmm.
Uh-oh. And I think that's so important to remember
Uh-huh.
what happened.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I think you're.
Uh-oh. Okay. I see it.
Uh-oh.
I see it.
Okay. Okay.
It fell.
Okay.
So I apologize. I'm gonna just reinstate that for editing reasons. So I think it's important in business, just like it's just like history, right?
Mhm.
Visibility matters. We should be putting it out there for the masses to see what problem do we solve, not chasing
Right.
the bag, but
Right.
not even chasing, but just showing people what we have in our hands and how we can solve their problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you're hidden, then your contributions can be erased.
Right.
What are
Right.
you saying? What are you speaking life into somebody?
Right. Right.
That's so important because these people, they didn't say they didn't stay silent.
No.
Even just a young lady just getting off of saying, "I'm not moving out of my seat." She's just sitting there being reserved and quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And we don't know. We just don't know if we don't put it out there and contribute. It's kind of like, wow, that question that always comes up: what is our true purpose
Mm-hmm.
on this earth? What are we supposed to be doing? We are. Our culture is so talented. We are
Mm-hmm.
so creative.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We are some, and we can bear the things that come towards us. We have done it for decades,
Yep.
decades. So why can't we do it now? We've gotten complacent in some areas. We've gotten lazy. We have to do, and it's not a beat up. It's just to motivate and encourage
Mm-hmm.
people. If you got a business idea, do it.
Do it. Yep.
If you got a ministry within you, do it. It's somebody out there that you're a part of their puzzle. You're
Mm-hmm.
a part of what they need to keep moving forward. We are all interconnected some kind of way.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
that's my little spiel.
So how about you guys? Why don't you guys drop in the comments and who inspired you from the if there are there any others or people that we've mentioned um that inspired you and why?
Yeah.
And if you have any other ideas of who you want us to talk about, please give us an email or drop in the comment. We'll definitely, this season is going to be an interesting season.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about some really deep stuff. So, and now you got the taste of what is, what the season is going to be about. So, and I'm looking forward to it.
I think some of it is going to deal with some healing too
Yeah, absolutely.
for us too. Like us
Mm-hmm.
doing this is going to
Mm-hmm.
be healing for us too, not just listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe needed.
Yep.
So,
All right. So, guys, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop in the comments below your thoughts, your any other people that you would like for us to talk about,
yeah.
and we will have our email and information in the show notes. So I want you guys to be safe and just take care, and just reflect on the history
Yeah.
and how it impacts you as a person today. And with that being said,
All right. So
all
this
right,
is Unscripted Untold. We're breaking barriers, building bridges, and we'll see you guys.
all right,
God bless.
all right, bye.